So we live in an Oak Savannah, so I think that our agriculture should mimic that. I mean, granted, California has the best climate to grow food and one of the best climates in the world, but we have to like import our water in Southern California, and here we're depleting our aquifer, so there's got to be a middle ground, and I think at least a lot of our agriculture should mimic our natural ecosystem. So my project is to show that we can grow these plants that are acclimated for our environment that can still be productive. So these are all drought-tolerant fruit and nut trees that are resilient and sustainable, like the sweet acorn oak, like olives, figs.
One of the things we're trying to explore with Brandon's system is a system called alley cropping, where you have a row of useful trees, whether they be nitrogen fixing, meaning trees that are adding fertilizer and fertility, and you could think of it that way, to the soils without using external chemical inputs or other inputs of fertilizers, or fruit or fruit trees, nut trees, other useful trees for humans. And then in the rows between these tree species, having a commercial crop of some type, whether it's fodder, growing fodder for cut to feed to animals, haying, or it's things like things we want to experiment with, like garlic and other annual crops that might be able to be grown in those alley rows between the trees. So really making more efficient use, you could think, of the space in a particular agricultural system. A goal of his is to think about which species would do well in our climate, and then incorporate some of the backbone species, which are the oaks in our climate, but then think about incorporating some other, kind of secondary species to round out the ecosystem and provide some additional services and goods for us.
And my main focus is the chestnuts and the oaks. With oaks, they're totally acclimated here, and I've practiced leaching and eating acorn food, and I'm really excited about that. I think the flower is the most accessible. So like I make acorn cookies and everyone goes crazy. So I think that's the first step into the acorn world. Step 2 might be bread with usually, and also when I make acorn baked goods, I would mix the flour. So it's only 1/3 acorn flour and then 1/3 all-purpose flour or bread flour. Because it is a little bit strong. I think too, having a trail mix or like a granola type thing would be really cool. I guess I'm just most excited about promoting a sustainable form of agriculture that is more abstract and less explored. And I think it would be really cool to see more systems like this dispersed all around us.